Hello, children. It's Grandma Carla with Grandma Carla's Bookshelf, and we are reading Cynthia Rylant's The Turtle. And this is part of the Lighthouse family books. So we are on chapter 3, The Plan. While Sebald was away fetching Pandora, the children learned why Aurora had traveled so far north. "I wanted to see the northern lights," said Aurora. "The northern lights?" asked Whistler. "Yes," said Aurora. In fact, I was named for them, Aurora Borealis. Someone told my mother about the lights when she was small, and she dreamed of seeing them one day. But we sea turtles are meant to stay in warm waters, and she was afraid to venture north." Aurora smiled proudly. Instead, she named her first baby Aurora. "In all my long life, I have promised myself to see the lights for which I am named." "And did you see them?" asked Lila. "Oh, yes," said Aurora. "Yes, I did." "What did they look like?" asked Whistler. Aurora looked at the children, her large, gentle eyes full of tears. "They were more beautiful than any sunrise or sunset that I have ever seen. More beautiful than the moon and the stars. More beautiful than a coral reef." "Really?" asked Lila. Aurora nodded. The lights filled up the black sky with pinks and blues and greens, and they moved like water. They rippled and they flowed like water. But they were lights. "I would give anything to see that," said Whistler. "Though it took me 100 years, I found them," said Aurora. "You will surely find them too someday." 100 years?" repeated Lila. "Since the day I was born," answered Aurora. "Goodness!" said Lila. "You've seen many things." "Yes," said Aurora, "but nothing so beautiful as the northern lights." "Are you still cold?" asked Whistler. "Maybe you should pull inside your shell for warmth." "Sea turtles cannot tuck inside their shells like land turtles do," said Aurora. "We must face what comes our way." "Well, soon help will come your way," said Lila. "Hello!" called Sebald's voice from the fog. "See?" said Lila to Aurora. "Over here, Sebald!" shouted Whistler. "Carefully, carefully, watch your step," came Sebald's patient voice through the fog. Then there they were, Sebald and Pandora, carrying buckets come to help. "Pandora, this is our friend Aurora," said Whistler. Pandora sat down her bucket and smiled at the turtle. "I'm so pleased to meet you, Aurora," she said, "and so sorry for your distress." "Thank you," said Aurora, "but I think I'm actually happy being here. I'm making wonderful friends." Sebald smiled and pointed to his wool cap. "And here is another. We brought along Tiny." Aurora looked up at the small baby mouse, wrapped snugly in the roll of Sebald's cap, wearing a tiny sock on her head. "Oh," said Aurora, "a beautiful baby." "We must warm you up," said Pandora. "I have a plan to get you home, but first we must warm you up." She knelt down and removed the lid from her bucket. She lifted out a smooth rock with her mittened paws. "Sebald and I heated these stones in the stove," said Pandora. "They will keep their heat through the morning. Then we will bring more." Pandora turned to Whistler and Lila. "Children, can you place these all around Aurora's shell to keep her warm?" "Certainly," said Whistler, as the children carefully encircled Aurora's shell with the toasty stones, Pandora pulled from her pockets hot acorn muffins wrapped in warm towels and a jar of canned beets. "I thought you might be hungry," said Pandora. "Oh, yes," said Aurora. "Thank you very much." As everyone shared the muffins and the beets and the warmth of the heated stones, Pandora began to speak of her plan. "The pelicans will pass through any day now," said Pandora. "I checked my logbook, and they are due on their journey south." "I know many of the pelicans by name," Pandora continued, "for they sometimes rest on the roof of the lighthouse, and I've even mended a few wings, a favor I know that they would love to repay." Pandora looked at the children. She looked at Aurora, and she smiled. "Now this is my plan," she said. They all listened closely to Pandora's plan, and when she had finished, everyone had the same reaction. "Brilliant!" These are the pictures of chapter 3. Okay, so here you can see the picture of Aurora and the children waiting in the fog for Sebald and Pandora. Here is a picture of Aurora as she tells all about her journeys. And here's a picture of one of the little mice. I think that's Whistler. And he was listening to her story. And then here's a picture of Aurora as she remembers the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights. And she said they were so beautiful that they moved like water, but they were lights. And here is a picture of Pandora and Sebald and Aurora. And here are the little mouse children. And remember, they said one was up here tucked in. Oh, he's so tiny. Can you see him? Tucked into the hat, Sebald's hat. And look, they have the rocks, the nice hot rocks that they're going to put all around her shell to keep her warm. And then they have a plan, and somehow the plan has something to do with some pelicans that Pandora knows. So we'll listen for chapter 4 next time. Chapter 4 is about the pelicans. And this is Grandma Carla, and I love you.